G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. Hey, I hope you're ready for what's pretty much an original cocktail creation. It's not one that I've found in a book or online where I normally find things. It's come from a suggestion I received. Went out with some friends just before we had a lockdown, so just got our little social outing in, and visited a couple of local distilleries, which is so much fun. I absolutely recommend. There's probably independent distillers near you wherever you are in the world. Do tours, do tastings, it's great. And one of the distilleries we went to was the Patient Wolf. They do gin. It's a gin distillery, and we had a whole spiel on how that works. And in fact, the brand ambassador was really excited at the idea that I make these videos, and he suggested I go back there at some point and shoot on site. If that happens, I'll be very excited. It's a very cool site, and they make some really good cocktails there too, so that might be coming up in the future. But I was there with a few friends, and they had a Snozzberry gin. Now, well, a lot of people, when they hear the term sloe gin, they think it's S-L-O-W. They think, oh, it's some special style where it's distilled slowly. No, it's traditionally made with sloe berries, S-L-O-E. And it's also traditionally lower alcohol by volume than gin usually is. It's down to the individual distiller, of course, but it's usually, instead of the 40%, which is average for gin, it's usually mid-20s. But it will vary according to distiller. And in fact, the Patient Wolf one is close to 40%. And I didn't buy that one. I bought their summertime gin that I might feature sometime later. One of my friends bought the sloe gin. I already had some equivalents from some Australian makers. So I thought I'll finish those first. But when we're asking how to have it, our friendly brand ambassador who's giving us the tour, he said he really liked it 50% whiskey, 50% sloe gin. And I'd never heard that. I thought, that sounds great. And I was talking with friends on a live stream, the friends who were at this tour, going, what would we call that? And it just immediately was Snozzberry, like Willy Wonka fans. So I thought, yes, that's what I'm going to make. And I'm going to make it now a Snozzberry. We talked, how would you present it? Because of course, there's a lot of different ways you could do that. I decided it should be in a highball, like a tall drink, lots of ice. And so this is going to be a fairly simple build-in glass. We have our ice-filled glass. That's what we need first. And we have our whiskey, and we have our sloe gin style of drink. Now, for the whiskey, I'm going to use, this is one of the distilleries I visited, Starwood. They have a recent release of theirs called Dolce. This is actually matured in dessert wine barrels, which gives it a really nice sweetness. It's not an overpowering sweetness, but compared to a lot of whiskies, it's got a noticeable sweet note in it. It's also comparatively higher alcohol content. It's 48% alcohol by volume, so it's almost 100 proof. And it's going to be our whiskey component, and I'm going to do it 50-50. So, which was the recommendation. So I figure I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of each. So I'll grab my trusty jigger, and I'm going to do 45 mils, 1.5 ounces of our whiskey. And I'm going to pour that straight into our glass. I don't know if you heard just then, there was a plane going overhead. Planes don't go over my house. I'm not under a flight path, and it's Saturday night. Why are planes going overhead in the middle of the night on a Saturday? I don't know. I had to wait for it to go away just in case the microphone was picking it up. So our second half is our sloe style gin. Now this is actually not sloe berry. This is a cherry base, but it's a sloe gin style of gin. This is made at the Anther Distillery, which is made in Geelong. It's about an hour out of Melbourne. I visited there recently, and this was my favourite thing they had. This was the most different one they had. It is a really nice drink just by itself, but for the purposes of our Snozzberry, this is what's going in, our cherry gin. And because this varies a bit year to year based on the cherry yield and how it goes. So I love the alcohol notice on here is handwritten in. It's a limited run. This is bottle number 658 of the 2020 batch, and it's 30% alcohol. They've written that in pen because apparently it varies from batch to batch. But as with the whiskey, we're putting in 1.5 ounces. That is 45 mils going straight into our glass. Now I'm going to top this off with some soda. This is according to your taste. You might do a sweet like lemonade, or Americans call it club soda. You might do tonic. There's this really nice set of sodas Cappy do. This is an Australian one, so depending where you are, this might not be possible for you to get, but I'm just giving a nod to Cappy. No, definitely not sponsors. I wish I was getting free Cappy. They make these sodas that have flavors. It's usually a fruit, or in this case a vegetable, because this is cucumber and green tea. They also have, I think there's blood orange and thyme, and there are a couple of flavors where it's like a fruit or a vegetable and a herb. And there's no sugars. These are like 1 calorie in a bottle. They don't even put artificial sweeteners in, but it has just the flavor that they talk about, and it makes for really good mixed drinks. So yeah, top it with whatever you have. I'm using the Cappy soda, in this case cucumber and green tea, just topping off our glass. And while I love the way it goes from the dark to the light, it's just going to taste like soda at the top. So I'm going to use, oh no, ice everywhere. I didn't think this through. I'm going to use Gaz Regan's finger to agitate this a bit. There we go. Ah, that's a bit better. Now I'm really bad at stirring drinks, I really am. But that's got it happening. So, thanks Gaz. And I was also thinking, because I have it handy here, this seems like a very summery drink to me, and it is summer where I am. I think a little bit of mint, a nice sprig of mint in the top, would make this a really summery type of drink. This is like at the tennis at Wimbledon, I think. Now, seeing I've never had this before, I'm just going off recommendation. I'm going to try this now. Oh my god, that's good. Oh wow, this is good. I kind of trusted the recommendation when I got it, but again, my favourite thing is when a drink sort of goes through different tastes as you take it down. You might have noticed I took a decent swig there because it's got soda in it. It's not all boozy. Initially, I was getting the soda, and then there was the fruitiness from the gin, and the whiskey is coming in late on the palate. This is really good. I tell you what, I win the lottery, I'm going to be sitting poolside having someone bring me several of these, one after the other. This is great. Excuse me while I really seriously indulge in this, because I was really interested when this guy Blake told us. He said, yeah, 50% whiskey, 50% sloe gin. I thought, that sounds odd. I've never really heard that combination before, but he seemed trustworthy, so I've done it. And you wouldn't have to do it with a topping of soda. You could do it in a rocks glass with a big chunk of ice and just do the whiskey and the sloe gin. This is such a refreshing drink. The mint was a really good idea too. All right, thumbs up, Blake. Thumbs up, Abigail, for coming up with the Snozzberry. This is a Snozzberry Fizz. If you make it tall with some bubbles, it's a Snozzberry Fizz. Otherwise, if you just do it straight up or on the rocks, I guess it's just a Snozzberry. Wow, this is good. I thoroughly recommend this one. And I think I might even make this for Mrs. Angry. I think she would like it as well. She's not so into whiskey as I am. She is fond of gin, but I think she might enjoy this, and if not, that would be another one for me. So I'm going to finish off here. Yeah, definitely go out and make this. It's really good. I'm sure you can get a sloe gin. The big brands do sloe gins. Whiskey of your choice to your taste. And I actually, if you want a really refreshing drink, I do recommend lots of ice. Top it with soda or tonic, whatever is to your taste. And I personally don't think you'll regret it. I'm certainly not regretting it. So let me know if you try it. And hey, I hope you can come back and see what I come up with next, or what ideas someone else gives me to make next. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, it would be great if you did. Until next time, I hope you stay well. I hope things don't get too out of control, because the world is kind of out of control at the moment. So hopefully things are going okay. Hope to see you again soon. In the meantime, do take care of yourself. Take the opportunity to care for people around you. And I hope to see you again soon. Until then, cheers.